Yo, what up? Welcome to Mo Boxing No Problem. I'm Jose Martinez Jr. And today I'm joined by Ruben from Through the Ropes. What up, Ruben?
What's up? What's up? Good to be back.
Good to see you again, brother. We got TJ from the Boxing Syndicate. What up, TJ?
What's up, y'all?
What up, TJ? And then we got a familiar face. If you remember the Canelo Bibble breakdown video right before the predictions, Marcus from the Inner Monolog Podcast. What up, Marcus?
What's happening, y'all?
Oh, man. Ready to have you. We may have some more people jumping on, but for right now, we got to get enough cast to start talking about what happened in boxing this weekend. So, three main events. We had, Omar Figueroa Jr. versus Sergey Lipinets, and that was, for me at least, a surprising end to Omar Figueroa's career with a stoppage. We got Emmanuel Navarrete, who got the victory, but didn't look so good before that one-punch knockout. But the fight we're actually going to be talking about today is that Oleksandr Usyk versus Anthony Joshua 2 rematch. It took place. It was controversial with that split decision. What were your thoughts on the fight? We'll start with you, Ruben.
I thought it was a good fight. Anthony Joshua definitely did better than the first fight. I thought that he came in strong the first couple rounds, the first 3 rounds, but after that, I think Usyk just his skills started just showing up, and he just started picking him apart. And then there was then Joshua did come back again. He rallied, and he got back into the fight. That 10th round was amazing, and yeah, overall that was I think Joshua came in better. I think that Robert Garcia edition really showed, but I don't think it had enough. They didn't have enough time to really I guess marinate together or something. But I feel like his Robert Garcia's impact definitely did play a part on him doing better.
For sure. What about you, TJ?
Yeah, I agree with what Ruben just said. I could see the aggression. He had a lot more aggression than the first time. I agree again. It was a better fight than he showed in the first one. He just looked a lot better. I thought it could have went. I thought it could have been a draw, or but I did see Usyk come back in the later rounds, at least 10 through 12 or 9 through 12. He was just putting it on him, so I wasn't upset with him winning either. But I could have definitely saw a draw. But overall, it was a great fight. I thought he did a lot better. You could definitely see the Garcia, I guess the Garcia effect in him, definitely showed a lot more aggression. So, I mean, I'm interested to see what he does next.
Yeah, definitely a competitive fight. What about you, Marcus? What were your thoughts on the fight?
All right, so I definitely think he did. He came out strong as hell, especially in the first few rounds, going all the way up to the 9th. The 9th round, it kind of seemed like he had his number for a good minute. Talking about Anthony.
Yeah.
But then Usyk came back in the 10th round, pretty much putting work on him. Like, you don't know what? You showed your ass in the 9th. Now I'm about to put this work on your ass in the 10th. And I kind of feel like at first the slipperiness of Usyk was probably going to get the better of Anthony. Just because he, like the announcer said, he loves to bait you with that right so he can jab you with that left. And he was getting some good ass shots. Almost every time you saw Anthony dip, he got tagged with a shot.
That's true, and I pretty much saw you guys. I was only able to see the first half live, but through 6 rounds, I had it a draw. I think Anthony Joshua, he was still boxing, but he was boxing more intelligently, more confident, and was I think every time Usyk threw a combination, he was answering back with his own 1-2. And I think that 9th round, there's a lot of talk about whether he gassed out in that trying to get the stoppage for Usyk when he had him hurt the 9th round. I think he had to go for it. It was going to be difficult from the very beginning to outbox Usyk and get a decision. So I think he had to be aggressive and try to get the stoppage that 9th round. I almost wish he would have tried to get that stoppage maybe a little bit sooner, or 5th, 6th round, try to do that and try to do more of it, because he was hurting Usyk to the body on a lot of occasions. What up, Boxing Maniac? What are your thoughts on the fight?
What's going on, everybody? How you feeling?
Man, we're feeling good. Heavyweight division is back, and a lot of future matchups, man.
Well, again, big shout out, both fighters, first of all. To compete on the world-class level like that is not easy. A lot of pressure on Joshua because he was deemed the golden boy of the heavyweight division, right?
Right.
And it never really worked out like that. Usyk, he's just what Fury is to Wilder. I mean, it's no shame of it, right? I mean, Usyk is hands down one of the best boxers in boxing, period. Right? This guy might unify the cruiser and heavyweight division. That's insane.
Yeah.
But to the fight. So I know on Twitter, I'm on Twitter a lot. A lot of people felt that um, Garcia didn't really do much for Joshua, which I disagree, man. He looked better in this fight than he did in the other. But Usyk is just that good. He's just, man, the guy, he's never rattled. His composure is always 100%. He comes back, right when that round, was it the ninth round where Joshua had a big round and he come back like nothing. And his dominance, he kept that domination in the fight, man. And I said, wow, man, this guy's an amazing fighter. At first, I'll be honest, I wasn't really big on Usyk. I knew he was good. Don't get me wrong. I never said he was a bum or anything, but yesterday really solidified his spot as one of the top fighters in boxing. And it's the heavyweight division is a lot of talent there, right? There's a lot of good fights that could be made. But we can't make, I see people, I got Usyk, the number one fighter in the world. Again, that's all opinionated, right? But he can't be the number one fighter if he ain't the number one fighter in his division. Because we know Fury is a Mickey Mouse retirement. We know he ain't retired. He coming back. So if he fight Fury and beat Fury, man, he could call it a day, pack it up, go to the Hall of Fame, and it's a wrap. But until he beats Fury, I can't call him the number one fighter. But he's close.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think that victory keeps Usyk, at least for me, at my number 3 pound for pound. I don't think it moves him up. It was Anthony Joshua, definitely a credible threat in that division, but I don't think he can beat Tyson Fury. And to be honest, I don't know if he can handle Deontay Wilder's power. It might be a case where, 9 times out of 10, he beats Anthony Joshua because that's just the perfect style for him. But we saw Usyk struggle, with Witherspoon when he first moved up. And even Dirk Chisora had a lot of success against Usyk. So it could just be Joshua was just the perfect heavyweight opponent for Usyk to really, show his world class.
Yeah, it looked like that body was working for Joshua, though. Maybe he would have done a little bit more if he would have gone to the body a little bit more. But I mean, it's tough to say that because it's things that Usyk was doing, giving him angles and stuff that you can't hit what's there. I mean, the Boxing Syndicate, I sent him a message while watching the fight, and it made me laugh. He was like, "Dude, that's a huge Loma," and I was like, "Yeah, I agree." Yeah, because he doesn't. They train together, right? Loma and Usyk.
Yeah, I believe so. They're very. I mean, as you know, they countrymen. Yeah, and they're definitely very close. And Usyk. What I also like about the guy, he's a very humble guy, right? He's it's hard not to root for guys, right? You don't have to like a fighter, but you can't deny certain things, right? I'll be honest, I never was a Floyd fan, but I never deny he's arguably the best fighter this generation or is the best fighter. I mean, his skills was A1. I don't hate a fighter. I never hated him. I just was never a fan, but I knew he was the best. Yeah. You understand? So I know I see a lot of hate Joshua's been getting on Twitter. And I know he went after the post fight, he went a little haywire there. And you got to remember something, man. You know how a fighter training camp goes, man. A lot is into it. The sport is mental, man. It drains you. And, there's a lot, man. We seen Danny Garcia break down after his fight. We seen Ryan Garcia in the past tweet about mental health. We see Adrian Broner. So a lot of this is starting to come out. This is something fighters hold in. We don't always see is when they get in the ring, man. It's a lot more, man, outside the ring. And it's only you. This is not, that's what I'm saying. You don't play boxing, man. This is not a football team or basketball. When I'm the point guard coach, I'm like, yo, you call Maniac. You got to get out. So many turnovers. And boxing ain't like that. You can't tap in. You got to go back in the next round. Or unless you're going to tap out and say, I don't want no more. So, this is why I never call no fighters bum, no matter their record. They could be 0-12. You're not a bum. To get in that ring, man, takes a lot, man. You have to respect every fighter that step in that ring, man.
Mm-hmm.
It takes a lot, man. It takes a lot. You could die in there. We know that, man. We all big boxing fans. We've seen it. And, it's a scary thing. But, again, not to ramble off too much about that. But, the question is Fury going to come out of retirement? I believe he is. But Joshua, where does he go from here, right? I mean, it's still big fights for him, right? We still got shit. Who don't want to see Wilder Joshua? I do.
That's a big fight. I want to see that one.
That sounds like a good fight.
That definitely is a fight that, that was the fight that we wanted to see, but then Fury came in and said, I'm going to mess this up. And we saw why he did the Wilder in their fights. So I'm excited to see Joshua again, man. I still think he's a top heavyweight. There's no shame in losing to Usyk. And who knows? He might not lose another fight, depending who he fights, So I'm definitely eager to see where he goes from here, man. And where, he might need to take a rest because the mental part, man, he might need to just take it easy a little bit. But I'm looking forward to see what's next for him.
Yeah, so good thing is that he's not retiring. I guess he told Eddie Hearn he wants to come back ASAP, and they were targeting November, but December is probably more likely. So kind of bouncing off Boxing Maniacs, future opponents for Joshua, Deontay Wilder. Who else would you guys want to see him in the ring with as a future opponent?
The winner of Ruiz Ortiz.
Yeah.
Take on Ruiz again.
Yeah. I mean, those were good fights, man. And we thought, Jamel Charlo, right? His first loss to Tony Harrison. What did he does? He comes back, he avenges that win, right?
Mm-hmm.
He has a close fight with what was the dude he just fought, man? I'll forget his name.
Brian Castaño.
Castaño, right? Hey, what it was, a draw?
It was a draw.
Draw, right?
First one.
Draw. He comes back and he wins definitively, right? Both his rematches by KO. Joshua loses his first fight. He outboxes Ruiz. We say, hey, Joshua might do it, man. He just might need a second chance. But Usyk just shows why he's head and shoulders above most fighters in boxing, man. And it's just he's just Joshua's kryptonite, man. That's just the bottom line when it comes to that. He just needs to move on. And he's a big draw. He's gonna make a lot of money. Yeah. And whoever fights him is gonna make good money as well. So shit, if I'm in heavyweight, I want to fight you, Joshua. Because you're gonna make good money, and it's still he's still a top fighter in the heavyweight. It's not like he got demolished. It's not like he got stopped. It was a competitive fight, but Usyk won. I know Glenn Feldman, man, those cards were. Well, I wouldn't say atrocious because there were a lot of swing rounds in the beginning, but I'm just glad they got the right fighter. They won the fight because right now we'll all just be so upset if Usyk would have never got that decision.
Yeah, I agree. So definitely the right man won. I don't think, I guess there is controversy with the split decision because it should have been a unanimous decision, but there were a lot of swing rounds, so split decision maybe he's not too far off. But I think Anthony Joshua still has a lot to give in the sport. There's a lot of UK heavyweights he can match up to with Joe Joyce, Daniel Dubois, like those names. He would sell out Wembley, I would imagine.
Yeah, I mean, did you guys catch any other fights? Did y'all catch the Showtime card? Did y'all catch the ESPN card?
I caught a little bit of both. Yeah, I caught a little bit of
No, I didn't.
the Lipnitz, and then I caught like the tail end of the Navarrete, like right when he like dropped him. I didn't really
Yeah.
watch too much of the fight. I was trying to catch everything at once, so I didn't catch too much of that one. But
Yeah, I mean, reason being is that, like I spoke to Jose earlier, I'm a big Navarrete fan, and mind you, I'm Puerto Rican, I'm from the Bronx, New York, but I don't play that racist shit. If I like a fighter, Andre Ward was one of my favorite fighters. I used to get a lot of, he's boring. All he do is hug. I said, nah, the kid got skills, man. Leave him alone. But anyway, Emmanuel Navarrete, man, I love that dude. He's just, he epitomized what a fighter is, what a warrior. Man, he wasn't looking too good, but he came back, man. That he put sauce to those ribs, man. He gave Baez, he said, hold that. And it was a vicious body shot. But I feel that 126 might starting to drain him a little bit. He's a big fighter for a featherweight. So I think, 130, I want him to fight Shakur Stevenson at 130. Does he beat Shakur? I don't think so. But I just think Navarrete's style can give Shakur problems. But I think at the end of the day, it's going to take a special fighter to beat Shakur Stevenson. And but I still love to see a Navarrete Stevenson fight at 130. I mean, that was the fight that was gonna happen. Actually, they said it was pretty much done deal, but then something broke down. Now Shakur's gonna fight Canciago, the Brazilian guy, and Navarrete for Baez. But hopefully they could fight, man. I mean, what do you guys think about that fight at 130? A Navarrete Shakur Stevenson.
I'd like to see it actually. Most
yeah, I
definitely.
like that fight. Yeah, I like that fight too. Like you said, it was supposed to happen. I thought it was gonna happen before the Consejo fight got announced. But yeah, like you said, I definitely got Shakur winning. But like, I like the fight because I like Navarrete's style. I think it give anybody at the weights problems. So
Yeah, I like the fight. I like the fight too. At first, I was high on Navarrete being able to give Shakur problems, but after that, I agree with you. I feel like he totally needs to go up in weight. Especially the commentators were saying that he eats tortas, burritos, and all, so if he's doing that, for sure has to be
making me hungry now.
Yeah, but yeah, I feel like his awkwardness and how lanky he is can give Shakur problems. But I say maybe like around couple rounds, but then once Shakur figures him out, I have him possibly even stopping him late. That'd be my opinion.
Yeah, man. I think I would rather see Valdez and Navarrete.
Yes, I would rather see that.
Oscar Valdez versus.
I mean, you can never go wrong with two Mexican warriors, right? I mean, you can never go wrong, man. That'd be a war. I wouldn't mind shit. Sign me up. If that's the first fight at 130, I'll take it, man. Because even though Shakur, man, he man, what a boxing lesson he put on Valdez, but Valdez is still a tough fighter, man. And again, Shakur, man, as long as he stay, mentally right, he's definitely going to be a future Hall of Famer. Like I said, it's going to take a special fighter to be Shakur Stevenson. And Oscar Valdez is no shame in losing to Shakur. And, he's still an exciting fighter, but Shakur just showed why he's one of the top fighters in boxing, man. That kid is special, man. Wow. Yeah. When you see him fight, you just look in awe. It's not the most exciting, but it's still, I'm glued to my TV like, oh, damn. Oh, okay. Oh, I just... Man, kid is special, man. It's not really much to say. And he's fighting a tough opponent, man. His next fight, he hasn't been fighting no cupcakes neither. So, people can't say much about his resume, man. Shakur Stevenson's resume is stacking up pretty well.
Yeah, it's pretty much primed and seasoned, ready to fight whoever then.
Yeah, and then Conseco arguably beat Valdez his last fight, so it's
That's
like,
true.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That is correct. That was a tough fight for Valdez. A lot of people was like, I don't know, but again, so now let's, I'm pretty sure I could see Shakur. Like I say, I think he's gonna school him. But again, I want to see him, man. I want to see him. And then we
Okay.
also had what was it? The Showtime call, right? We had Figueroa. Now I knew that when the Broner and Figueroa fight was announced, I was just like, I gave up on Broner a long time ago, man. I'm like, yo, this guy, he got it. He just not there mentally. And bro, when he came up with the mental issue, I said, bro, I could see it because it's like, yo, Broner, man, you got it, bro. He wouldn't let his hands go. He don't know if he want to be a rapper. He want to be a thug. He want to be so many things. Yo, bro, just be a fighter. You a fighter first. Focus on that.
I mean, that's what put him on the big stage. That's what gave him that platform in order to try to be those other things. So I totally agree with you because I was a big Broner fan. I know a lot of people hated him, but I thought he was good for boxing. He's brash, he's a character, like he brings a lot of personality, and I think it's good for the sport.
No, definitely, man. I wasn't a fan of a lot of his antics, but I was a fan of his style. And when he came, he bring it, man. You understand? And he's a tough mother ucker, man. That fight with Madonna. I know, Madonna beat him, but yo, Madonna said it, man. He's the biggest puncher he fought was Broner. He said that motherfucker was strong, and Broner showed heart in that fight. He showed grit, man. So whether you like a fight or not, again, back to my point earlier, certain things you just gotta salute. When they in that ring, man, whether you like him or not. And I said, nah, man, Broner, he's tough, man. I salute him. He ain't no chump, but he just, I don't know, man. After that fight with Madonna, his career just started to slowly go downhill, and look where he's at today, man. It's just kind of sad. This is a dude that could have been filthy rich right now.
Yeah.
Agreed. Yeah, and I think us as boxing fans, we can do a better job just giving boxers their flowers while they're still here, not when they're gone or past their prime. And tying back to Usyk, that's another guy that's going to take a very special talent to beat him. I think he's gone on record saying that for him, it's the Tyson Fury fight for undisputed, or no fight at all. Do you guys think that Tyson Fury Usyk gets signed, and who would you favor in that matchup?
Well, it's the reason. Well, when we look at the heavyweight division, right? I believe Joshua had like over 20 pounds on Usyk, right, going into that fight, weigh-in. One thing about Fury, right? I saw him live. I went to when Steve Cunningham fought him here in New York, right? It was a matinee fight. Man, Cunningham dropped him viciously, man. If y'all don't remember that, go on YouTube again. We went crazy. But what Fury did, man, he noticed he was the bigger fighter. So he took his time, and what he did, he started to put his weight on the smaller fighter, right? That starts to drain you. Usyk is going to be small in size and in body mass. And Fury could box. Right? So I'm not going to say Usyk don't got a chance, because he definitely does. Because when you got skills like that, you got a chance against anybody. But I just think
definitely at a disadvantage.
Yeah, I just think Fury, the size, and he knows how to use his size. You see, that's the difference. And he will use it because he knows Usyk is special. He's going to try to tire the boy out, man. And after a while, that wears you down, and Fury could punch. Now he doesn't got Wilder power, but he could punch. He don't got Paulie Malignaggi power neither. You understand? So he gonna hurt Usyk if he start landing some shots. So um I go Fury, close decision, but I could see Usyk winning. But if I had to put money, it's gonna be on Fury.
Fury.
You see it the same way, TJ?
Yeah, I'm going Fury too. Like you said, I like Usyk. I'm a big fan of Usyk. Just the way he moved, just the way he boxed, being 240, 225, 230, being able to do the stuff he do. But like just going back to his point, like Fury's just a lot bigger. He know how to use his weight. Plus, he can really fight for real. He not just relying on power or a hook or a right hand or nothing. He can really fight. So I'm going for Fury too if I had to put some money on it.
For sure. What about you, Ruben?
I think I'm going with Fury too, just because I know Joshua was bigger than Usyk, but we knew that Usyk had better skills. And now what's it called? Now Fury has skills too. So they're so their skills are like you neck and neck. And now you put that size. I have to give Fury the advantage because it's like that saying is, like kind of like what happened with Guillermo Rigondeaux and Lomachenko. They both had good skills, but Loma was just bigger than him. And I think that's and I know size sometimes doesn't matter, sometimes it does, but I feel like this is gonna be a deciding factor in the fight.
That's true.
Yeah,
The old saying goes, a good big guy beats a great little guy. No, that's really true. Man.
Yeah, and one thing I forgot to mention is that we seen Fury hurt, right? By the biggest puncher probably in boxing, which is Wilder. And him get up, but not once, but twice in 2 fights. We haven't seen Usyk hurt. And how, hurt. I mean, he's been dropped, I know, in the past, but by somebody like that. So
what's that going to do?
Show you he's tough, he's rugged. You understand? So that's another advantage, right? The mental part, knowing I've been hit by the biggest punch in this division. He ain't gonna hurt me. You crazy? And if he do, I'm getting them.
Yeah.
So that's a big factor when it comes to that fight, man. But man, I would love to see it, man. I hope it happens because you know who wins, right? Us, the fans. If that fight is made,
we win.
No matter who wins that fight, we win regardless.
Yeah, absolutely, man. All right, guys. Well, any closing thoughts on Usyk, Joshua?
It was a good fight. Fight. Joshua definitely brought it. And this one thing too, I want to how Boxing Maniac was saying. A lot of people are saying Robert Garcia didn't do anything, but I mean, people don't like back in like the 2010s. Like Robert Garcia was killing it as a trainer, and not to mention his dad, Eduardo Garcia. He like. A lot of people training champions, like Floyd Mayweather trained De La Hoya and whatnot. But Eduardo Garcia made 3 champions out of scratch, which is Fernando Vargas, Robert Garcia, and Mikey Garcia. So I just feel like their family is like really like deep in boxing. And
yeah, and I agree with that too. Like it was the first fight with him. You give him some time to really get some chemistry, you know what I mean? In 2 or 3 fights, you know what I mean, where he at. Maybe he get a Usyk 3rd fight in 2 years or a year and a half, you know what I mean? You never know. So
yeah, guarantee his next fight is gonna be completely different.
Right.
Yeah, and I think going back to Boxing Maniac mentioning, boxing is such a mental game. I think right now Josh's confidence really isn't where it was once. Like I wanted to see the kind of that killer that he was against Dillian White. I think that fight was very personal to him, and he came out and handled business. But I think he's still doubting himself a bit. But I think under Robert Garcia and getting some victories under his belt, maybe he goes in now to a 3rd Usyk fight, with full mental strength and a full training camp with Garcia. Could be a different outcome.
No, definitely, man, and yeah, I mean, I've seen it, man. And again, everybody's entitled to their opinion. But you got to look deep into it, man. No bias aside, and like TJ mentioned, man, let them build some more chemistry, right? Let's see another fight or 2 down the line, and Marcus also mentioned that he'll be a different fighter, man. We'll see a different fighter, and I'm expecting big things from Joshua again, man. I don't, he just lost to a future Hall of Famer, man. I think Usyk will be, and can a toaster one day, man. I don't think none of us could disagree. But just my final thoughts on it, man. I'm just glad that, Joshua, he went right back to the rematch. So I got to salute him. And then, salute Usyk, man, for putting on two good boxing, performances. And he did what he had to do. And it's just, you can't take nothing away from the guy. Again, he's one of the best fighters in the world today. And we all looking forward to seeing him again, man. If not this year, then hopefully early 2023. But definitely was a good boxing fight, and we didn't have to pay pay-per-view for it. So I was happy.
Yes, sir.
I was happy. So, looking forward, to more boxing fights, moving forward. I know next week we got another ESPN call. Not a huge fight, but listen, whenever boxing's on, I'm watching.
Likewise, and yeah, I mean, props to both fighters. They're both warriors. Deserve all the credit in the ring for getting in there and risking their lives. And major props for Usyk, who once again showed that the first fight wasn't a fluke and got the victory. And there's a lot of pressure on him too with everything that's going on in the Ukraine. And he kept put that aside for one night and delivered a hell of a performance. So shout out to Usyk and for everyone out there in the Ukraine.
Yeah, most definitely.
All right, guys. We'll just do a round table so people can find you. So, Ruben, where can people find you?
On YouTube and Instagram on Through the Ropes, just the way you see it there.
All right.
Excellent. All right, Boxing Maniac.
Yeah, I'm on Instagram BX Sean, but on Twitter is Boxing Maniac. I'm mainly on Twitter more. That's where a lot of boxing fans is. Twitter's where's it at? Instagram is cool because I met you, Jose, but Twitter's definitely popping. But Boxing Maniac on Twitter.
For sure. All right, TJ.
Yeah, if you can catch me on Instagram at the Boxing Syndicate. I also just made a TikTok too. Just been posting some little stuff on there.
That's
and
what's
then
up.
what I was about to say, I do got a Twitter too, the same name. But I got to get a little bit more active on it. I'm gonna start getting more active on there too.
Dope. All right, Marcus, where can people find you?
All right, so we're on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Facebook, the Inner Monolog Podcast. You can pretty much find us everywhere.
That's what's
All right,
up.
man.
All right, guys. Well, always a pleasure talking boxing with you guys, and looking forward to the next discussion. Everybody enjoy the rest of the evenings.
Peace.
Yep.
All right,
Later.
peace.
All right, y'all.